I freaking love that auto tune.
That's actually really funny. Where'd you get that?
I bought this many moons ago.
Welcome.
Oh yeah, actually I remember that.
All right, welcome. With that intro out of the way, welcome to the first episode of the live stream of the GenerationZen podcast. Now, this is going to be a very laid back, a very free throw show. I got my boy Malarkey Man in the chat. What's going on, dude? Hope you're doing well. And we got a roundtable discussion here today with all the friends. We got Jeremy.
What's up?
We got Sean.
Hello.
We got Tom the Twix.
That's me.
And we got Tom's friend who is currently AFK. She's like intro guy Malarkey Man, so she'll be here soon. Anyway.
I don't know.
Yes.
She'll be here.
She'll be here. Anyway, we got a very exciting live stream today because we're going to be talking all about the PS5. Now, guys, let's start off by this real quick. What did you think of the presentation overall? Jeremy, you start.
Oh, I was caught me off guard here. I
want to say hello to Freshness for Days. I just want to say hello.
Freshness for Days.
Hello
I
to
know.
Malarkey. And say hello to Freshness for Days.
You want to have Freshness for Days? That's this kid Lucas I work with. Cool dude.
What up, Freshness? 4 days.
Love him.
Okay, Jeremy, go ahead.
You see, yeah. So the PlayStation 5, kind of interesting design. We could start there. I know a lot of people were memeing on it. You know, Tom, I saw in the chat you posted the Kaiba meme.
Oh yeah, I love it.
A lot of people are memeing on the design. Honestly, I don't hate it. I don't hate the design. I think it looks a little silly, but you know, there is the theory that there's no such thing as bad publicity. People are memeing the design. Like, first of all, the console's operation doesn't really depend on the design. So, technically, you know, if people are like talking about the PlayStation 5 a lot, the console's good, even if it looks stupid.
Even if it looks like it has a big mosquito bite on one side, but that's fine.
Yeah, you can jump in.
You know how last generation they were like, we want it to look like a DVR, like it's not there, and they're just trying to hide it in the thing. I like how PlayStation's kind of gearing towards like, we're gamers and we're a console for gamers. And you see people's like custom PCs and they're decked out with lights and they got these crazy cases. So I think that a lot of people prefer the crazy look. Even though they're memeing on it, I think they're gonna like it better. And I think it's gonna actually help it sell. They're doing something crazy with it. And I for one am all for the crazy new look.
I personally love the way the console looks. I love the way the console looks. I don't know. I saw that console and I'm like, this looks really cool. And I go online and everyone's like memeing on it and doesn't think it looks that great. I was pretty surprised.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I like the way it looks. I mean, I of course I meme on it, but it's because I love it.
Yeah.
You know,
It's memorable. And and if you compare it to like the Xbox design is literally just a box, so it's not like it's not really interesting.
Yeah, it's a mini
like,
to ITX tower, basically.
Pretty much, yeah. At
Yeah.
least the PlayStation 5 looks like it looks interesting. Maybe a little silly, but it looks interesting.
Where are you gonna even put that Xbox, man? Can't put it in your cabinet. Too big.
I recommend putting it in your friend's house.
Yeah, Malarkey Man, I agree. At least it doesn't look like the dev kit. The dev kit looks so bad. So as long as it doesn't look like that, I think it looks fine.
It
Also,
does
yeah.
kind of look like an Alienware kind of design. That's what Freshness for Days
yeah.
said in chat.
Yeah,
was gonna say-
it definitely does.
I was gonna say it kind of does, but like a lot of Alienware is a lot darker colored. So if it was like a darker color kind of console, I could definitely see it being like Alienware. It's just like it has that look to it.
Mm-hmm. What do you guys think about the controller?
I mean, I like it.
I like the controller quite a bit, but I've gotten used to it because me and Jeremy had a podcast discussion about this month or two ago. Go check that out if you haven't listened to it. Link below in the description. And the GenerationZen. And the controller definitely is a weird design, but I definitely have gotten used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not used to it yet. I like the console a little more than the controller. I gotta wait. The controller has to sink in for me.
Yeah, I mean, I like the controller more now that it matches the design of the console a little bit. At first, I was kind of like, I don't know, because I don't like the colorless buttons, and I still don't love them. But I think it looks a little better in paired with the console. But sorry, Tom.
No. I mean, I kind of like it. Honestly, I kind of like the colorless buttons. I understand why people may not like it, and it's like kind of more. Like it's easier to be like press the red button than it is to be like, oh, press the B button or square or whatever it is. Like I don't know. I do kind of like the colorless though. I think it makes it look kind of neat.
I do too.
But
You look
Remember,
kind of neat.
the console for
oh,
Now, what do you guys like better? Because there is a debate going on online, and I guess I saw Marky Man in the chat. He said that he likes the digital one better. What do you guys think? Do you like the disc one or the one with the digital?
digital.
Digital?
Yeah.
See,
I
Sean
like
likes the
mosquito
disc.
bite.
Mosquito
Yeah.
bite?
Mosquito bite disc, yeah.
Look, look,
It's
I
so-
appreciate the mosquito bite, but the digital just looks better.
No, the
It just looks better.
Digital looks a lot better, but I kind of like the idea of just having the disk drive just kind of be there. I don't know. I
Me
just think
too.
that's kind of funny.
Kinda
No,
like
me
that.
too. Especially since we're going to be able to play, 4K Blu-rays, because I still have a bunch of Blu-rays that I want to play. And don't
True.
forget, it's going to be backwards compatible with at least the PS4. So all the physical PS4 games that you had over the generation, they're going to work on the PS5. So you want to get the disc drive if you plan on using backwards compatibility. Just my opinion. But again, it depends how much it is and how much cheaper the PS5 all digital edition is compared to the non-digital. Because if they did what Microsoft did, where they made basically the Xbox One and just took out the disc drive but did the same shell and the same frame, that ain't gonna work. So hopefully it's at least a little bit cheaper.
Yeah, Malarkey Man is right. It was an afterthought. Like
Definitely.
had
No,
to
it
be put
definitely
on.
was. And I think
Like, there's no way that
yeah.
was part of like the initial design. They just had to be like, oh wait, we forgot this drive. Throw it on there.
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, they're like, what do we do for people who actually want to use discs? Glue it on. I don't know. But also one thing Malarkey Man said that I think is a good point too is he said he doesn't like the symmetrical analog sticks. I also don't really like symmetrical analog sticks.
Me neither.
I like one being higher up for the left thumb. I mean that's just what I'm used to. But
I like the symmetrical.
wow, hot takes.
Wow.
I'm gonna be the bad boy in the chat right now and say that the symmetrical makes my feel better.
Let's talk about
that's-
what about some of the
By the way-
games, guys? Because they showed a lot of games. What do you think about them?
Before I get to the games, I actually had a thought. I think the disc drive sideways, like if you put the console sideways, that would look real nice.
Yes,
I
there.
didn't think of that, but that's true.
Yeah,
Sideways.
yeah, there are renders of it sideways because it will support the console being on its side, and it looks pretty good. I have to say, it looks pretty good.
Yeah, 'cause
maybe.
you don't need the pedestal. You could just kind of take it off and.
I'm very nitpicky. I have to say, I just don't like the disc drive the way it looks right now. That's just
Okay.
me. But
Well, have you ever been bit by a mosquito? Because I'm sure.
I have multiple times. I don't know why I went southern there. But yes, I have.
Malarkey Man, I disagree with you. I thought the Wii U Pro Controller was a bad Pro Controller. I thought it was very uncomfortable. I called it the shark. It was like holding a shark in your hands, dude. The Switch Pro Controller is great, but the Wii U Pro Controller, I'm not a fan of it.
Guys, figured it out. You know what this reminds me of? Portal. Whole
Portal?
design, all Portal.
Oh yeah, like the kind of like
GLaDOS.
futuristic, looking white design.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
I see
yeah,
it.
yeah. That's true.
I see it. I see it.
That's
I'm
true.
just gonna kind of nerd out for a sec and say Ratchet and Clank looks really good and I love it.
That to me was the best game they showed, by far.
It hit my little nostalgia bone when I saw it. I was like, oh, it's there. It's what I
Malarkey
wanted.
Man, we'll get to the furry game because I have a lot to say about that weird game. But Tom, why don't you talk about your thoughts about Ratchet and Clank? Because you're a huge fan of the series.
Oh my god! Like just seeing that trailer, I love it. But I have to say, like I'm really glad that in the trailer they looked like they separated them. Clank and Ratchet, obviously. Well, I've never said their names backwards before. It's very weird. But like, and that new character, who knows what her name is? She has a hammer or something. Like Clank goes with that character from what we've seen. I think that's a good move. As much as might make some people be like, oh, they're adding another character. It's like Clank can't be on his own. He really can't. He needs someone to be with. Like, they made a game, I think, just for Clank, and like I remember not liking it. And even all the segments in Ratchet and Clank when they had you control just Clank, I just never liked it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's
They-
just me.
Maybe I'll try to lean into that a little bit, where it's like he's kind of helpless on his own. So maybe that's part of the game. Where
Yeah.
he's really,
Yeah, maybe it's part of the design.
yeah, potentially.
I gotta say though that game definitely showed the capabilities of the PS5 between going between the levels like instantly between the portals and the ray tracing. That was the best game they showed in terms of the capabilities of it, and they actually showed real gameplay for like a couple minutes and actually moving around. So that was great too. It's like, okay, this game is actually legit. It's probably an alpha or whatever, and there's working levels, and it looks great.
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. There were definitely some stuttery moments in it, but nothing that really took me out of it.
Yeah, no, definitely not. You know, of course, we're going to see some stuttery moments with all the particles right now because it's still a very early build. But I mean, in terms of a real next gen game, if you run that game on the PS4, yeah, if it even will run, it'll run at like 20 FPS, if that. You know what I mean? Like,
I doubt it.
Even if, you know,
yeah, I was gonna say if it can even function.
That game needs the SSD.
It does.
There's no way it's gonna run without it.
with the portals, totally.
Oh, speaking of Portal,
Yep. Speaking of Portal, what about the 3D platformers? Milwaukee Man was talking about that. Yeah, I like that. We were talking about this off air. What'd you guys think of that Little Big Planet? What's it called again?
Sackboy.
Yeah. What'd you guys think of Sackboy?
That's probably the one I'm most excited for because I love the multiplayer co-op of the PS4 and the PS3 when they released those games, and it's just such a fun time with friends and all the. I'm a customization guy, so you get all these like outfits and hats and stuff, and
there's also level creators and stuff like that.
yeah,
So, and that was like big in the original games,
mm-hmm.
which I'm sure they're gonna bring it back.
PS4, just downloading a random custom level and just playing it. You can play co-op on every single one. And probably one of the best and slightly underrated platform games out there. Just the whole Sackboy franchise.
I mean, it looks like a lot of fun, but I don't think it really shows off what the PS5 can really do.
It doesn't.
Well, yeah, of course not. But
It definitely is.
It's a fun exclusive title though, and we gotta give it credit for that.
Might be able to go crazy with just amount of items on screen, and
That's
and
true.
That would, because it's so powerful, there might not be limitations for how many blocks you can, or not blocks, but like surface areas you can place and limits.
That's definitely true. I didn't think about that for sure.
See, Milwaukee Man, I don't think that Ratchet and Clank would run on the PS4, dude. I mean, yeah, I agree that probably some of the games we saw there could run on the PS4, but that Ratchet and Clank game, think about it, between the portals, going between those. Well, I mean, look how fast they went between level to level. They went to between like 10 levels in like 20 seconds or something like that. There's no way that could happen on the PS4. It needs the SSDs.
Yeah, that would have to be like because you could control your character during all that too. That would have to be a pre-rendered cutscene in order to allow for that sort of detail.
Yeah,
exactly. Yep.
And I don't know if the PS4 would be able to handle rendering all that stuff at once.
Yeah, probably not. It is a pretty old system now.
Yeah, at this point,
yeah. It is
There's
old.
Also,
yeah.
I was just gonna say the one that I was really excited for was the Demon Souls remake.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
I have to bring that up.
Because it's not just like an HD like remaster. It's like a remake, and you know I've never got to play Demon Souls. I really like Dark Souls, so that I'm actually really interested in.
Yeah.
So,
I played a little bit of Demon Souls and I wanted to play more, but I don't know what happened to it. I don't know where it's funny, I don't know what happened to the actual game. Like, I don't know like where I put it. I don't know where it is.
You literally have it on Steam?
Do I? No, I don't have it on Steam. Demon Souls? No.
Oh.
I have the Dark Souls. I played every single game. Dark Souls 2, 3, Bloodborne. I played a little bit of Demon Souls, but didn't really get too much into it. And I really want to play this one, like a lot. I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm definitely really interested in that. Also, that Spider-Man game looked really interesting.
It did. Now let's talk about that real quick because I heard 4 or 5 different reports today. The first was they said, okay, it's DLC. Then the next one said it's a standalone game. Then the other one said it's a standalone DLC version. Look, I don't care what it is. It looks great, and
it does look really good.
It's probably going to be. And Tom, you were mentioning this earlier. And Marky Man, I think Reviews Tech USA was mentioning this on his live stream earlier before, that it's going to be like Breath of the Wild 2, where they're going to take the same world as the Spider-Man 1 on the PS4, and they're going to make a new story. They're going to add, levels. They're going to add parts of the world, but keep the base game similar enough so that way they didn't have to do like a crazy amount of work for it. But I don't care what it is. It still looks really, really good.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that they don't do. This might be too obscure, or not. Jeremy, you would know this. Saints Row 3 and 4.
Yes.
Remember, Saints Row 3 was like amazing, and then Saints Row 4 was just Saints Row 3 but with superpowers.
Yes.
Like
I do remember that.
Yeah, I'm hoping to put a little bit more effort into the game than like just adding like, oh, here's a new character and he can like shoot an extra web or something. Like, give us more than that,
Yeah. I think that would be like maybe make Miles more unique than just like the original Spider-Man game. Make him stand alone in his own way, not like just it's this game but with a different person.
His unique powers, he does have an electro venom shock that he can use, and he also has the ability to go invisible, which are two pretty distinct abilities. I'm not sure how they're gonna affect the game, like how it's gonna change the gameplay, because like the electroshock could just be like a reskinned punch technically. So I hope they actually play into, the abilities and make it different.
It needs more. It can't just add a couple abilities. It needs to have way more.
Yeah.
I mean, Saints Row 4 added literal like superpowers to the game, and it still just felt like the same game, but now cars were useless. It's like
Yeah.
Story, I think that would be enough.
Yeah, I'm looking at. I know, Justin, you said you saw multiple reports. I mean, all the articles I'm looking at say it's a standalone game.
Yeah, they changed it because earlier this morning at like 10, 11 o'clock, Dreamcast guy had a video on this too. It was just like, nope, it's a DLC. And then they changed it like midway through the day.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I look, I don't, again, like I said, I don't care what it is. It looks really cool, and I'm really curious what the story they're going to do with it, because
it does look really cool.
Yeah, because they're gonna make a sequel to the Peter Parker story, so I'm wondering if this is like in a different dimension, or what they're gonna do with it.
Ooh, we should. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna see if the cop cars say NYPD or PDNY, and that'll tell us everything.
Why? What does it say in the Spider-Verse comics?
PDNY, because it is an alternate universe.
Oh, okay. I never knew that. Was that the same in the Spider-Verse movie?
Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
Speaking of the Spider-Verse movie, I think it's interesting they didn't like go with some designs similar to that movie, because that movie was really popular, and I think that opened a lot of people's eyes to Miles.
Yes, but remember, the PS4 version of Spider-Man was not the Tom Holland version of Spider-Man. It was very mature Peter Parker. He was I think he was married or something. So I think they want to kind of have that same mature style. Even though the Spider-Verse movie was super popular, they want to have a mature Miles Morales. Yes, Freshest for Days agrees. So, yeah.
Which I think they should go in a different direction. Don't copy the movie, I guess.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. I was just saying I think it is interesting that since that movie was so popular that they didn't, but I totally get your point that maybe they wanted a more like adult Miles for a more adult setting.
Yep, that's what I think.
I'm also excited for I love Square Enix and a lot of the games they make. So seeing this thing also by Square Enix, the Project Athia, I don't remember I'm pronouncing it right.
Oh,
it
yeah,
like a pretty cool game to me.
Yeah. That did look pretty cool.
It's not a super big talking point around, but it looks cool to me, and I want to see more about it.
So it does actually, the police cars, you can see for like a second, it does say PDNY.
So that's cool. That's really cool.
Which makes sense.
That's that's a great.
Where's the Peter Parker Spider-Man? What was still going on would be a question.
Yeah,
it would make it an alternate universe.
It does make sense that it would be the alternate universe. That's cool.
All right, Milwaukee Man wants to know about this furry game. Okay, I'm going to give my take on this.
Okay, first of all,
Why?
I might have missed the furry game. What's the furry game?
Sean, you want to explain what this is, and I'll give my take?
Goodbye, Volcano High.
Better not talk ill bug snacks. Is that the furry
Wait,
game?
no. The furry game is
No.
what Tom said. Is the what's it called? Goodbye Volcano
Goodbye,
High. Yeah.
Volcano High.
That one. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Definitely like it's definitely popular in a different country, and I think it's like a storytelling game where like you choose the dialogue and stuff. If I don't even know. Let me Google it.
Look,
Is this
but
like-
here's the thing. Why do you show that? Mark says the furry game truly showed the power of the PS5. I just don't know why you spend time showing a game like that for the PS5. It's like, I understand you want to have like unique experiences in indie games, but when you go from talking about a game that's hyped up to be this next gen, truly evolutionary game that can't be played anywhere else, to like a simulator furry game that you can play on your phone.
Is this a furry dating sim? Is it like
I don't know
I'm
what
watching
the hell it is.
right
The
now.
trailer was so weird.
You know, I don't know, but I'm not gonna knock on it too much because obviously it was popular enough for them to put it in the PS5 reveal.
Yeah, I mean,
event.
hey, it's working.
So
We're
it's-
talking about it.
It's
Yeah.
gotta have a following if they included it in here. And if
Definitely.
not, then who knows? I mean, look at Undertale. That game was kind of weird, but it still did great. So who knows? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it worked. We're talking about it right now.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, it did work.
Narrative adventure. Okay, so that's just to confirm.
I
that.
like narrative adventures.
Definitely a continuation, so it has a following already, and it's about the end of high school, the end of an era, and the start of a love story. So, if you guys are interested in some.
I knew it was a dating sim. I knew it.
All right,
No, it's not
Marky
a
man,
dating
we're,
sim, but
we're,
it's
we're done.
probably
We're done talking
romance.
about this furry game anymore. I can't. It's too freaking weird.
Someone in the comments just said it's Life is Strange meets Night in the Woods meets Furries equals this. I don't know what that is, but I just
Life.
I
Oh,
think
Life
it's
is
Life
Strange.
is
Yeah,
Strange.
yeah, yeah. Okay. Okay.
Oh, Life is Strange. Okay,
Can I
Yeah.
play as the mediator in this game?
I hope so.
yeah,
Oh
my
it's
God.
such a. Oh my god, it's so weird.
I think it's okay that it doesn't show off the power of the PS5, but it like it does show that they have a very diverse set of games. So it's like I think it's fine to throw it in there. Will I play it? No. Will I watch it for one video?
Just to see what the
I'll
heck
watch,
it
like,
is.
a key video on it. That's all.
What'd you guys think about that game Stray? I thought it was pretty interesting.
Drea.
That's the game with the cat.
Yeah,
the
I mean, I
robots?
could.
I mean,
yeah,
I-
I mean, it definitely looks interesting in my opinion. I mean, I'll definitely try it.
Isn't it just Stray?
Yeah, but
it's just
yes,
Stray.
it's just Stray, but it has the picture of the cat, and you move her, and it looks like you play around as a cat, but it's like a world full of only robots.
yeah, it's cool because it's like a game where you solve mysteries, but you're a cat, and it's kind of like.
Ooh, I must have like skipped for this one.
Yeah, I kind of like the idea. I mean, first of all, I like mystery solving games, and I like cats, so I was like, ooh, okay. So it
Yeah,
was
I
pretty
can-
cool to me.
Yeah, I can definitely get behind that one.
I like the idea is definitely there. I kind of don't. I haven't seen. There's no gameplay of it, so I'm not really sure how it controls. But I love the idea. Kind of like Detective Pikachu.
Yeah,
Kinda like
could be
Detective Pikachu, but with a cat.
a cat, and a world full of robots. It looks cool. It looks cool.
I can't wait till we get to talk about Bug Snacks.
No.
All right, let's talk. We'll talk about it now for you, Sean, because I know
Yeah.
you love this game.
I don't think this is the best looking game, but it is definitely my most anticipated game.
Why? Why is that?
It's the tastiest looking game. That's for sure.
It looks like it's similar to an Animal Crossing where you're building a town, but everything's like a food bug. You got like a centipede made out of cheeseburger or like a foot long sandwich. You got burger spiders. You got strawberry little fellas walking around, and wherever you eat, you start turning into. And it's the wackiest thing I've ever seen, and I think I think it's gonna be great.
This is a console seller if I've ever seen one.
Oh, jeez.
Now I do like the art style because it looks a lot. Well, it's made by the creators of Octodad, so it looks very similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta be like the only person on earth who didn't really like Octodad.
I
It was
wasn't
a
a
funny
fan of it
game to
either.
watch. It was a
Yeah.
funny game to watch, but like I playing it, it's not really that fun. I mean, it's fun for like like the first time you play with like the friend, but it's not something you really keep going back to. You know, if you're gonna play something with your friends, you're gonna play like Overcooked or something. You know, like something you
Totally.
can scream about over and have fun. I don't know. I don't know. It's just me. Maybe I'm being a
It was fun
pessimist
to
for nothing.
go as fast as possible through the level. And then you get good at the weird controls, and then you like find like cheat areas where you can skip part of the map and just launch yourself. It was fun to like explore how fast you could do a level.
Speed running, of course.
Yeah.
Marky
But
man, Paper Mario is not coming to the PS4. Go
the
ahead,
new Paper
Jeremy.
Mario looks really sick, though.
It does.
They
It really
actually-
does. Did you see the trailer today?
I did.
It looked
yeah.
good.
It actually like, and Paper Mario has been really disappointing for the past like 3 games.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
But I think just the fact that they seems like the combat system at least seems more interesting now. They have partners again, you know, like that. I mean, I know this is a PS5 discussion, but I just like Paper Mario.
No, it's okay. Yeah, Marky Man brought it up. Marky Man, I'm curious what your thoughts are on the new Paper Mario. Oh, he says he can't wait. Yeah, because he can't wait for Paper Mario fans to whine. Well, yeah, you're gonna get the fans complaining for sure, but I think it looks great.
There's gonna be something they whine about, but I think if it's at least a slight return to form, I think a lot of people will be more happy than, you know, they have been at the very least. I honestly I don't care if it's different from the originals as long as the combat's actually fun. Because in the newer Paper Mario games, the combat just was kind of like, oh, I'm gonna use cards. I'm gonna use cards. I'm gonna use cards.
Yeah,
And
dude, it's
not cards,
bad.
stickers. But you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
whatever. But like, and like, you don't gain experience. There's no progression. It's just I'm just gonna use stickers. I'm gonna use stickers. I'm gonna use stickers. So I'm just hoping. Yeah, it looks like a mixture between Thousand Year
Yes.
Door with hints of Color Splash.
It
I think
does.
the art style and the visuals in Color Splash are really great. I think there's bad elements of the game, but there's a lot of good that they should keep. And I think the visuals being from Color Splash is great. But
Yeah. I'm actually almost done with my playthrough of Thousand Year Door right now.
oh yeah, you were recently playing that. That's a really good game.
It's a great game.
And one of my favorite GameCube games.
For sure. That game, if they had a remaster of that, that'd be amazing.
Would.
You know, because they would do some quality of life improvements, like take out the backtracking and the one the one world I didn't like was the backtracking world, and the other thing I didn't like is when you had to go across every single level to find the General Bomb guy. If they make a
Right.
remaster and fix that stuff, oh man,
His name's
masterpiece
Bobbery, by the way,
again.
just-
Wait, what's his name?
Had to go
his
through the
name's
entire
his name's
level.
Bobbery.
Wait, no, Bob Marie is the partner.
Yeah.
There's the General Bomb.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
never
yeah,
mind.
yeah.
Sorry.
Not the one that-
He's an admiral. I mixed up admiral and general.
Yep.
But yeah,
I've
I
never
think it
played.
would be-
I've never played Paper Mario.
You should.
Ooh,
It's
you
very
should,
good.
Tom.
I think it'd
But-
be cool if they. I'm sorry if I interrupted Tom, but I think it'd be cool if they remastered the original 2 games and like put them together. I think that because those 2 games
Yeah.
they're both really good. They play similarly, and I think like you could throw in because originally in the second game they were planning on having the partners from the first game be in the game.
I
So
heard
it'd be
that.
cool
Yeah.
if they had them in the world. Like you could obviously keep the same partners for the second game because they're awesome. But like if they actually put them in the game, that'd be cool.
But how would you compare Paper Mario to Horizon Forbidden West?
That game looks amazing. I didn't play the first one because I don't have a PS4, but man, that was another amazing next gen looking game.
Yeah, I played the first one and it was really good. It's sad that I didn't get to finish it because I don't know why. I literally lost interest and I couldn't figure out why. So I'm really hoping that this one like can hold my interest a little bit better. Because I can't explain it. Like the first one was really fun, but then like I got a little bit more further into it and like they started giving me more freedom. And I sort of just did like the John Travolta meme. I'm looking around like, all right, what do I do now? Like, I don't know. There's so much there, but they didn't like. I don't know. They didn't like really give you much of anything. It was just kind of like, all right, go.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes open-ended games can be hard to stay motivated in just because there's so much to do. And I don't think that's a bad thing, but I think with like maybe you just had the problem where you're like, oh, I don't even know what to do, so you just didn't play.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like it's different from a game like Skyrim where like you're just walking around, like you find a quest and you're like, all right, I'll go do that, and you go do it. Like in Horizon Zero Dawn, it was like I'm walking around, there's robot dinosaurs, and there's more robot dinosaurs, and there's more robot dinosaurs. So it's like I don't know. It needs something more variation in my opinion. Maybe I'm just being a cynical old man. I don't know.
When I was
Literally
watching
so old.
I was like, this lady looks familiar, and I didn't even remember that I didn't realize this was a sequel to a game until after, but it looks so fun, or not like it looks so amazing, and it looks like so fun to explore the world and the colors and the creatures. I would I'm probably not gonna buy a PlayStation just because PC for life, but I would definitely watch a playthrough of this game because that's one of the ones I'm genuinely excited for.
Well, let's talk about
Depending.
price. How? Oh, go
Yeah.
ahead, Tom. No, Tom.
No,
What
no,
were you gonna say?
I was just about to bring up the price. You read my mind.
Yeah. So, all right, guys. How much do you think this is going to? Oh, Marky Man's gonna make some mac and cheese. Go right ahead. Um, how much do you guys think the price is gonna be? Because I keep telling my friends in this Discord chat I'm in that they're convinced. 400, 400. I'm like, it's not gonna be $400. It's gonna be at
No.
least $500 minimum.
There's two different versions of this console. I'm thinking digital version is probably going to be like upwards of 600 in my opinion.
Wow,
mean,
that much?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, it's
Oh.
PlayStation. They made the mistake once with the PlayStation 3. They made it like super expensive. And then there was a
See,
whole thing about
that's
yeah,
why I
there
don't
was
think
a
that's
thing
why I don't
on-
think they'll do it again.
Yeah, well, there was a thing on Amazon just the other day that showed that they had like a pre-listing for it. I was unlisted, but they showed it for like $700 on Amazon.
Yeah, but that's a placeholder. I don't think so. Marky Man, no, the Series X is not going to be $400 either. Here's the thing. Sony and Microsoft are in a standstill right now. It's like an old western. They're waiting for someone to draw their gun first, right? Until
honestly,
that happens,
they're like kids on the playground. Like
Because-
I'm not saying the price yet. Well,
Hey-
I'm not saying it yet.
yeah, I'm not saying it yet. No, I'm not saying it yet. So until I don't know who's gonna say it first, but I can't see. Listen, I would if the lowest I could see them going, the lowest. I don't even think they're gonna go this low. Is $450. I cannot see them going any lower than that. And personally, I feel like it's gonna be between the $500 and $550 range, Tom.
The
And,
way you said
like you
that
said.
sounds like a pawn shop. Like I can't possibly go any lower.
I'll
There's
give
too
you
much tech in these
$2.
things, guys. Between the SSD, between the freaking GPU that's in there, between the Ryzen chip. I mean, there's just there. If you try to build a PC for that console, you'd be spending like $2,000 for it. Not even exaggerating. So
Well, yeah, but
uh,
Malarkey Man does make a point. I saw that online somewhere too. It's like Microsoft can afford to have that loss, like if they just sell it at a low price just to get people in, and then they can make up the money later. It's like just getting the people to buy your console at first over the other console is a big thing. So I could definitely see Microsoft selling it for lower. I don't know about 400, but they could definitely sell it lower than the PlayStation.
true, but
No.
Marky Man, Sony's also a really big company, especially in the professional market. So they also have a lot of money to spend too. I don't know. I mean, maybe Microsoft is going to say, you know what? We just want our console out the door, and we're going to make all of our money back from Game Pass. Maybe, but I just feel like they'd be selling at a way too steep of a loss. I mean, do they really want to? I mean, let's just say the console's $400. What do you guys think the loss is going to be? $300, $350? That's a lot of money
Yeah,
per
that's a
console.
lot.
$50
Yeah.
under the PS5, and that's like a good strategy.
Even then, I'd still buy the PlayStation over the Xbox. Like it doesn't. To me, it's more about like what the games are on it. And if right now PlayStation just has way more things I actually want to play on it. So if PlayStation sells for like $500 and Xbox is 400, that's not swaying me. I'm gonna buy the PlayStation.
Actually, here's a little tidbit. The PlayStation 4 in 2013 starting price was $400. I do not see a world where the PlayStation 5 is $400. There's
no.
Yeah, it's a more expensive
Yeah.
piece of hardware. There's no way they're gonna sell it at the same price.
Good market too. Like the economy is, ever worsening, and the price of things just goes up and up. So just for that alone, it'd have to be $500 start. I wouldn't be shocked if it was over 600. I don't think it's gonna be, but I can see that. It's a lot of technology, like new technology. It's expensive.
It's hard though, because like, how do you make the price that high and then end up? Because I feel like making your price too high, you're alienating the people you want to have the console. Because it's like casual gamer people that you want to play your games. You know, it's like, and casual. I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean like you don't want to spend like $2,000 on a gaming PC just to play a game. So you're gonna
Yeah.
buy a console because consoles are cheaper and they still work really well. You can play with all your friends. You know,
Hmm.
like I think honestly, sometimes computers can be a little too much, a little bit. You
Yeah,
know, if you're buying a graphics card for like $500 when a console itself is $500, it's like there's something wrong there in my opinion. But I don't know. I have a computer that's out of
Mo-
date now, so I'm just bitter.
Morky man, I know that they sell their consoles for a loss, but the difference is, you know, how much loss are they willing to take? Because these things are extremely expensive to make. And I know it's not like like one of us goes out and buys these parts off the shelves and build a PC. I understand they get the manufacturing parts, at a cheaper rate, but still, I mean, they don't want to sell them at a significant enough loss where they're losing like millions and millions and millions of dollars that will hurt their financial pockets.
Which I can see Microsoft like being like, you know what, we'll take the millions just to outsell. We'll take the
I don't know,
millions.
guys. I mean, you're talking about a company that sells like $2,000 laptops. So you know what I mean?
I
Like,
can
well,
I
look,
the
can see
thing
them
is,
doing it.
yeah,
I can definitely see them doing
I don't know.
it.
You could see them
yeah.
going
The thing is,
$400.
they sell for $2,000 laptops, so they can make up the money elsewhere. You
Okay,
know,
but guys, they sold the Xbox One at launch with the Kinect, which nobody wanted, for $500. Do you really think that they're not going to want to try to do something like that again? I'm curious. No,
I
I'm
feel
actually
like,
genuinely asking.
yeah,
You know.
I feel like both these companies have done some really questionably dumb things, and I think that they both hopefully have learned from that with the PlayStation 3 at $600 and Xbox and the Kinect selling together that no one wanted. I feel like hopefully they've both learned from that and they're not gonna try and pull the same things again. They'll try and hey, look, if they keep undercutting each other, I'm fine with that. As the person
yeah.
trying to buy the
As
console,
a
I don't
Yeah, me
care.
too. It benefits us.
Yeah.
It benefits us for sure. Morky man, look, I know that the Morky man, Sony. Okay, you're saying Sony's going to go bankrupt. I don't know. I have to look into that, Morky man. But I'll tell you this: I work in broadcast. Sony still makes a lot of money in other places besides video games. So
That's
I'm not
true.
saying, obviously Microsoft is a bigger company, obviously, but Sony could still sell their console for a $100 loss.
An animation studio,
You know.
a film studio, they sell TVs and other appliances.
Yeah, so exactly. They sell appliances, TVs. I mean, they're in a bunch of different markets. So, look, I'm just saying. I'm not saying that they're not going to sell them at a loss. I'm saying how much of a loss are they willing to sell it at, if that makes sense.
I imagine the Xbox boardroom meetings are like they consider undercutting PlayStation by a significant, but they're like, but we probably lose. I'm imagining these things should be sold at $1,000 realistically with the technology that's put in them, and if they
Oh,
sell them at
yes.
500,
Yeah,
then they have
they right,
lose
right. Like
that.
normally that if you would buy in a normal circumstance, yeah,
Mhm.
this would probably be sold at $1,000. But since it's a gaming console and they literally cannot do that because they won't sell any if they do, they have to cut corners somewhere.
I mean, don't forget, people are paying monthly then for, Xbox Live and PlayStation Network. So they're still making up the money from losing it anyway. And it's like either way they're going to make up money from either from the games or the subscriptions or the accessories they sell with it. There's so much there that they're going to make money off of. I'm not really I have no concern that they're going to go bankrupt either one of these companies. I think either one of them is going to do fine
They're
as long as they stay
Yes.
popular,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
which it will. It's Sony and Microsoft. It's gonna sell. It's gonna sell.
But one thing though is like, even if they're like, we're gonna sell it for 600, and they're like, no, I think we'd sell better if we do 550. That $50 echoes to millions and millions of dollars lost. So it's like we're not just talking about $50 when they lower the price. You're talking a lot more. So they can only undercut, like, how much are they willing to lose to maybe sell a little more?
That's what I've been
So
saying.
I can't
Yeah,
imagine
that's my
that
point.
are like, yeah, let's just get it in people's homes and we'll make the money up. Like, that might not be money you can make up.
That's right. I
Especially
agree.
What if
I
they don't
agree.
buy any games?
Especially when games like Warzone and Fortnite are like the most played games,
Mm-hmm.
might not sell
Free to
as many.
play. Yeah.
Free to play is becoming huge. I don't personally see a world where Microsoft's like, we're gonna sell it for 400 and get it in people's houses, because I got the PlayStation loyalists who are there for the exclusives. You got the Xbox people who always buy Xbox. I don't think you're gonna sway a lot of people just by making your console $100 cheaper. Fortune, maybe some, definitely some, but the amount of people who sway is not going to recover the millions of dollars they're going to lose.
I have to disagree because I know for a fact that there will be a lot of either parents or grandparents who just want to buy their little Timmy a game console
I
and
love
they look
both.
for the cheaper one and they buy it. They don't do much more than that. That's the reality of it in my head because
Fair,
listen,
fair.
if they see one that's $450 and they see one that's $500, they're gonna go, well, I'll get the cheaper one, but it'll still get a console.
It's true. And there is the cheaper Xbox version. I'm not sure. Is that true?
No,
Is there,
we don't know yet. It hasn't
not
been announced yet.
confirmed yet,
Not confirmed
yeah.
yet. But Marky
was-
Man, sorry to cut you off, Sean, but Marky Man says if you look online, Microsoft has never turned a profit on the Xbox brand. Okay, but they have no, Marky Man, they turn a profit on the games that sell for it, but the console, you're right, they don't make profit on the console itself. But the brand, it doesn't make them as much money, but they definitely still make profit on the Xbox brand, right,
Mhm.
guys? Right?
I mean,
They have to, right?
if profiting.
Yeah.
I don't know. I gotta be honest. I don't know the numbers.
Yeah.
I
But-
don't. I
Marky
don't.
Man,
I would
wait, if you
assume,
link
but I don't know.
something, Marky Man, if you have a link, I'm curious because I could be wrong. Link it in
Can
the
you
chat.
link? Can you
I mean, I
link
got an
something in
article.
YouTube chat? I don't think
He
you
can. No, he's a moderator, so
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
he's a moderator. He can link. Yeah.
I mean, I just googled it real quick. This is the first thing I saw. So like, don't, if I'm wrong, like, don't hate. But
Yeah. Yeah.
so it just says that even though Xbox accounts for a small portion of Microsoft's 24.7 billion quarterly revenue, it's definitely a profitable division, which is contributing its fair share to the company's $6.5 billion profit.
Okay, that's what I thought
So,
because they
That's
wouldn't
just
just be
billion
doing
dollar
this to break
company.
even.
Yeah, I'm seeing a 39% of its profits are from Xbox.
Right.
Oh,
The
wait, no.
console itself is not making money, but the brand and the games themselves do. And Game Pass, I'm sure Game Pass is making them great money. I'm sure it is.
Oh, do they not call it Xbox Live anymore? Do they call it Game Pass?
No, they do, but Xbox Game Pass is a separate service.
Okay.
Game Pass is a subscription service, and you get a bunch of different games a month. All right, let's see.
So
Marky
there's-
Man links up. What were you saying, Tom?
So there's
Sorry.
2 subscription services. There's
Yes.
Xbox Live and Xbox Pass.
Yes, and you can combine them. So you can get Xbox Game Pass Ultimate Edition, which is gold, Xbox Game Pass, and Xbox Game Pass for PC for $15 a month.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Or you can just get the Xbox Gold and Game Pass for $10 a month, which is a great deal because the
As
amount
much
of
as-
games you get every single
Yeah.
exclusive Xbox game when it comes out with Game Pass.
Yeah, that is true.
So like for me, when Halo Infinite comes out, because I got a crazy deal where I have Xbox Game Pass for 2 years and I only paid $100 for it. It was a deal their promotion they were running a while ago. I get Halo Infinite when it comes out. I get the Halo Master Chief Collection when it comes out for PC when the new games come out. So that's the appeal of that. And Sony definitely needs to have a service like that to get people enticed for their console because the days of people wanting to spend $60 per game is definitely fading away for sure. I feel like.
Yes, I did. I just looked at the link that Malarkey Man linked. And it basically, it's to sum it up. It's a very short one, so you should read it too.
Okay.
But
Okay.
it basically says that when Xbox reports their earnings, they report it as revenue, and revenue is growing, but it doesn't report it as profit. So essentially, they're saying, "Oh, our revenue for the Xbox brand is growing, and that's good." Which obviously, yeah, revenue growing is good, but they don't report it as profits because they're actually still losing, even though revenue is growing.
Interesting. He says the revenue is growing a lot, but it doesn't cover the cost. That's interesting. Okay, I didn't know that.
That is from 3 years ago. Do we know where they are like today as far as this goes?
I don't know. That's what Marky Man linked in the chat. I'm not sure. Maybe that's changed.
Well, they earned
Maybe that's
10
changed.
billion last year, 2018. Record-setting 10 billion gaming year.
Yeah, I saw that.
That was sold the most. I feel like they had to make making profits now, right? They're selling they sold more than any other gaming platform.
Well, the PS4 sold more units than the Xbox One, so the ecosystem on the PS4 is higher. And I think the Nintendo Switch outsold the Xbox One. Oh, maybe it changed. I don't know. Yeah, I'm curious. I mean, you could be entirely right, Marky Man, because I know. Let's be real here. YouTube doesn't make Google a profit, and they still do it. Like YouTube is not. I think YouTube for the first time last year became slightly profitable, and even then, it wasn't that much.
Sometimes brand recognition is more important than profit.
Yes, I agree for sure. Because then they make money off the merchandise, like all the Halo merchandise and things like that. That's revenue that's not accounted for with the games. You know what I mean?
That is true.
So you have
just like
these
all the add-ons you get for owning the brand.
Exactly.
Are significant too. Yeah.
Like every T-shirt you buy, every Master Chief poster you buy, all that stuff. That's money goes to Microsoft off the brand, even though that might not be accounted for.
Yeah, just as a general consensus here, though, let's just assume for right now that both consoles, in theory, both consoles are selling for the same price. Let's just pretend they're both selling for $500 right now. Right. Which one are you getting right now?
Well, right now I would say PlayStation because I want to know what other games are coming to the Xbox. Besides, and I don't even know if Halo Infinite's good. That's a big deciding factor for me.
Good point. I would probably buy the PlayStation because you can just play all of the Xbox exclusives on PC now. So
that's a good point. That's actually
or buy an Xbox again.
Yeah, that's kind of huge because you can just like you said, you can literally just play all of the Xbox exclusives on a PC if you have a good PC. And there's certain games I'd be missing out on if I didn't get the PlayStation. So it's kind of like. For me, it seems pretty easy to pick PlayStation, but realistically, I don't know if I'm going to buy one anyway, but we'll see.
Yeah. See, I would say PlayStation as well, only because what you just said before with like you can buy these games and play them on PC. But I wanted to ask that because I know when we start hearing more about the Xbox, we're probably going to do another one of these live streams, and I want to hear how you guys have changed your opinions, knowing then the games and the prices of these consoles, if you'd still say PlayStation 5, if you'd say Xbox.
Actually,
I'm interested to see.
Yeah, me too. I can't wait to see what the exclusive Microsoft is. Because here's the thing. Halo Infinite is definitely a big factor. I want to see what that looks like running on the Xbox Series X hardware. Because that's their biggest game. And if that game is not good, and Spider-Man Miles Morales is good, that changes a lot.
That is true.
Marky Man says he's going to get the Xbox. I'm curious, though, Marky Man. Why? I'm just curious. Is it because of Game Pass? Because... for me, that's definitely a reason. Is the advantage of Game Pass is definitely a reason.
Freshness for days, though, says Minecraft has shaders on Xbox.
It does have ray tracing.
That's actually a really good point.
It does have ray tracing.
I mean, I got a soft spot for Minecraft, so I gotta. That's a tough one now.
That is true. The ray tracing on the Series X does look great. I did see Austin Evans' video.
The ray tracing on for Minecraft is actually insane.
It is.
I didn't see the ray tracing.
Yo, you have to. It looks incredible.
It looks really cool.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not even lying.
Of mobs and puddles and things.
Oh my god! Hold on, I gotta look this up.
I'm not even. Yeah, we're not even exaggerating. It looks incredible.
I'm looking this up right now.
You can you walk up to a block and you can see, you can't even see the pixels. You just see texture. It's crazy. Honestly,
to be fair, though, aren't they going to have the ray tracing on PC too?
Yes.
Yes, but you need an RTX graphics card.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's very expensive.
To
oh my god!
kind of hard to compare Xbox and PlayStation. They kind of are going in different directions. Where PS5 is about their exclusives and their single player adventures, Xbox is kind of just like online shooters, Xbox Live playing with in a party and stuff. And I feel like in order to get like the ultimate experience, you have to get both.
That's right, because like Marky Man, you know what Review Tech USA says. You need, in order to have a successful console, look at the Switch. You need to have excellent first-party games, Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, etc., and you need to have great third-party games that you can pick up. The BioShock trilogy, all those other ports that come over. Even though they're just ports, still you're playing Doom Eternal and Doom 2016 on a handheld tablet. So you need to have both first-party and third-party games in order to really make yourself a system seller. So I think Xbox Series X was probably going to be the best way to play third-party games. But
I would agree with that, yeah.
I just feel like that's the way it's going to be because Xbox Live is a better online service than the PlayStation online service. So in terms of that regard, yes. But the PS5 exclusives look incredible.
Wow, this is not related at all, but wow, Minecraft ray tracing.
Yeah.
Man. It's like those shader mods people made, but way better.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's okay.
Continue.
And
Just
yes,
had
they
to
did,
say.
Marky Man. Yes, they did. Nintendo's older portables had great third-party games on them. That's a big reason why they sold well. That's a big reason why the DS and the Game Boy and all those games. Game Boy Advance. Yeah. So that's another reason why the Switch sold over 50 million units is because you got third-party support for the thing. So if Microsoft doesn't have that, I do. Oh, yeah, he just said this too. He said, I really want to see what Microsoft does with their new studios. I agree. We need to see, because they were very smart, because they realized that their exclusive this generation were lackluster. Halo 5 was I didn't like it at all. I thought it was really bad. Gears of War 4 and Gears of War 5 were okay, but they weren't like system sellers. So I want to see what those new studios are working on, and if they're working on something really mind-blowing that only works on the Series X. I want to see that too.
And I was a big 360 fanboy. Did not like the Xbox One, but those the Gears of War and Halo for the 360 were just such good games, and I feel like they ran out of steam. They kept making them, but they didn't hold the same value. So, and I hope they don't just keep remaking Gears of War and Halo games. As much as I will always play another Halo game, think they need to try and make new exclusives.
They do. That's
do
not
agree.
wrong.
They need new IPs, and I think it's a fair criticism because a lot of people criticize Nintendo a lot for they just use the same IPs over and over again. But then it's like, if Xbox is doing the same thing, isn't that?
Yeah, and even with Nintendo, they use their IPs, but they use them in a different way. They make different
I totally
genres.
agree. I'm just saying some people used to criticize Nintendo for that, and then they're like,
Right.
"Oh, let's make Splatoon, ARMS," and they made new IPs. But I'm just saying people used to criticize Nintendo like that. Sometimes.
Right, for sure.
Nintendo's doing great right now. I mean,
Yeah,
that Switch is doing so
Yeah,
good. I want
50
one.
and they
I
have
still
great,
have one.
and they have great third-party support. Like Freshness for Days said, they had Ice Age Continental Drift on the 3DS. Like they had really good for their systems. So we have to really give them credit for that.
Marky
So
Man,
what
I
are your-
agree. This is actually a really good discussion. Marky Man brought up in the chat. I'm curious what you guys think about this. If consoles become irrelevant, I definitely can see Nintendo working with Microsoft on their cloud gaming platform. I can see that.
I could see that.
I know they talked buddy, but Nintendo's really particular about their project.
Here's the thing, though.
Also a good point.
Do you really think Nintendo, let's just say cloud gaming takes off big in 10 years? Let's just say, I don't know, but let's say it does.
In theory, yeah.
In theory. Do you really think Nintendo's online infrastructure that can barely play one-on-one fighting games at a reasonable latency, do you think they really could make cloud gaming? No. So they would need Microsoft service to do it. So I agree with Marky, man. I could totally see that happening.
I would love a Switch with Xbox's online service. That'd be
Yes,
so much
me too.
I just don't know if Nintendo is ever going to go that route. I think they're always going to be console party games in like togetherness sort of thing.
We'll
Yeah,
see
but,
what
like-
happens with
like,
consoles.
Just Malarkey Man just said, like, what if it's that option or go bankrupt?
Yeah,
What,
you know.
you know, given a gun to their head, what will they do? You know. But
Yeah.
granted, they were struggling during the Wii U era, and they
Yeah.
still stuck it too.
No,
It's like-
Nintendo's not going to work with Sony freshness for days. That's not. Hell will freeze over before you see Sony and Nintendo working on a platform together. They
Well,
kill
yeah, but-
all relationship has been squashed since the Nintendo PlayStation. Okay, that beef is still going on to this day. That's never going to
Yeah, like,
happen.
it's funny that I mean, like, it would be full circle if they did it, but I don't think that they'll ever
No
they'll
way.
ever come to an agreement where they want to work together.
Yeah, no way.
I wish they would. I wish Nintendo would just work with both of them. I like to see what kind of things they could make, because I'd feel like Nintendo made a couple really good like single player things like Breath of the Wild, and
Yeah.
Sony makes good
Odyssey,
single
yeah,
player
Mario
games.
Odyssey, yeah. Yeah, Mario Kart does play well on the Switch.
And also, they had the highest selling fighting game of all time, Smash Ultimate. So
Yep.
Yep.
it's
Yeah,
not
they
as
just
good as Melee, but like better sales. So fair.
Yeah, they just need better online. I don't know what's going on. Like if Microsoft should just sell them a cloud package and say, look, here's a cloud service for you guys to run your online on. We'll have this deal going on behind closed doors, and it's a win-win.
Wait, can you just like is that how it works? You just sell them a cloud service and suddenly you have good like internet?
Well, they'd probably dedicate. I mean, again, I'm not an IT person, so but I think what they would do is they'd dedicate some of their like Xbox Live infrastructure and give that to Nintendo. I don't know. I'm being an armchair developer. I'm being an armchair IT person. I don't know, but I'm just saying, they should do something.
As Freshness for Days says, maybe Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony are all about the friends we made along the way.
Maybe the
Yeah.
has always been about the friends we made along the way.
We'll all come together and make one big Smash Bros. Game and make it for all the consoles.
Yeah, we'll see. Yes,
With
IBM.
700 characters.
Yes, Marky Man. That's exactly what IBM does. IBM is basically what they are now is their cloud company. They just sell cloud services and servers to smaller companies that can't afford the network space. So Microsoft would essentially do that for Nintendo for their online infrastructure.
Okay.
Which I think they should do. Which would be great because Nintendo on the line. I mean, they got hamsters in the wheels right now, managing their service.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean,
some pretty fat
Nintendo-
hamsters are not doing very well.
but yeah, it's funny because Marky Man brought up before. He said somehow they make Mario Kart run great. It's like the only game on their console
Yeah,
that runs
isn't that
really
weird?
well. Like, and then you play Smash Ultimate, and there's like 8 frame buffer, netcode's trash, and you're like, why couldn't they just use the same netcode?
I know. I don't get it. I really don't get it. It's crazy.
Coding's hard.
That Mario Kart you just don't notice the buffer, but in a fighting game where you have to be like frame perfect sometimes, that
I
is
guess
just
that's probably true.
I don't know, but Mario Kart's pretty fast paced though.
yeah, but it's like
But also, fighting game players complain more than Mario Kart
That's
players. So I think
no
all their
doubt. Yeah,
flaws
yeah,
are
yeah.
More noticeable.
That's true.
like,
Yeah.
you're not turning immediately. It's not like it's not like your screen just turns 90 degrees. Like it's a slow turn a little bit, and well, if you lose out on like frames, you probably won't even notice that.
I'd notice.
It might not even be.
Honestly, what we need to do is we just need Leffen to play Mario Kart, and then we'll know all the
Then we'll
flaws
know.
for the netcode.
All of us will know.
Just going back 1 second though. Overall thoughts on the PlayStation event that happened. Just
Yeah,
like
'cause-
overall thoughts.
Yeah. Because we will wrap up soon. Who wants to go first? Sean, you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go. I loved everything was in-game footage. That Microsoft got a lot of flack with not showing that game footage, and everything looks fantastic. Gotta love how Grand Theft Auto made it to 3 separate. Every game looked great. Excited for I do like the exclusives. As much as I'm not going to buy any of the consoles, I'm more excited to watch playthroughs and streams of these games more than I would be for what I think Xbox will be. That's my
Jeremy?
I agree that I think the in-game footage was a good move because I think you should always do in-game footage because if you're not transparent about things like that, then it's like people really. It's hard to trust your console if you're not even showing in-game footage. So in-game footage always a plus. I think the fact that they finally revealed the design, thank you. I mean, and the fact that
I know.
it's memeable, solid,
Finally.
solid memes. I think the games seem interesting. I'm really interested in Demon Souls. I really want to play Bug Snacks. Shout out to Bug Snacks. I think the exclusives, launching with a bunch of exclusives and showing in-game footage and finally revealing the design. Overall, I'd say it was a win.
Morky, man, the Atari VCS is going to be an absolute dumpster fire. Morky, man, the Atari VCS, I don't even think is going to come out. That's how bad I think it is.
Yes, exactly.
That thing.
Amico will outsell them. Thanks, Freshman.
The Amico. Morky, man, the Amico is going to outsell the Atari VCS. Okay, so let's be real. Tom, your thoughts?
This PS5 event was fantastic. Honestly, I have to say. It was really good. Everything they showed was just great. Honestly, there wasn't really much there that I didn't like. I wish I showed a price, but they didn't. The design, as much as I beat on it, is great. I make fun of the mosquito bite look of the DVD thing, but honestly, I like it. It's unique. It's got its own style. People are gonna remember it. They're gonna meme about it. All the games they showed, and except for a few that I just really didn't care much about, but it really weren't that many.
Just Bug Snacks.
All right. I can go without Bug Snacks, all right? But, I mean, like, the Demon Souls, even Deathloop, Resident Evil, the Horizon Dawn, Hitman even, as much as that's not a new game, I still am excited to see it work on a PS5. Godfall, which we didn't even talk about.
yeah.
We did not. No.
High School.
Godfall was like huge hype for that game. Demon Souls remake, Ratchet and Clank, everything I was just talking about before. But I thought it went really, really well for PlayStation for Sony.
Stars looks like a fun party game too.
Yeah, it went so well for them. I don't know how else they could have made it better besides announcing it was free. That'd be nice.
I agree, guys. I agree with everyone. I thought this was a really great live stream. It was definitely better than Xbox's live stream a couple weeks ago, that's for sure. And I'm really, really looking forward to learning more about the console and seeing what other games are going to be coming out in the next couple years because the power on this thing looks great. And I was really disappointed going from the 7th gen to the 8th gen because basically the 8th generation to me was just a fresh coat of paint. And there wasn't really that next technological leap. So I'm excited to see what they're going to be doing, not just in terms of graphics, but in terms of AI, in terms of controls, in terms of gameplay. That stuff can definitely change this generation, and I'm looking forward to seeing that the most.
I agree.
So with that being said,
Wait,
any
Justin,
final thoughts? Yes.
can I do the outro?
Sure, but does anyone have any final thoughts?
Final thoughts is that Sean should not do the outro.
Okay,
No,
wait, Morky Man, and Freshest for Days, do you guys have any final thoughts? Because you guys were chatting all night. We appreciate you guys stopping by. This is great. Oh, and as a podcast announcement, while we're waiting for you guys' chats to come in, I am getting a new microphone, which I'm really excited about. Hopefully, it should be coming Monday. That's what it says, but I don't really know for certain now. But it still says Monday, and I'm hoping Sony will fail. Sad. That's a reference to this guy Wyatt on Review Tech USA streams. Shout out to Wyatt. But I am getting the Apogee hype mic, so hopefully that will come soon because the audio quality on that sounds insane. That's the same mic that Rich from Review Tech USA uses and a couple other streamers, so it's a fantastic mic. And that should be coming soon, like I said. So hopefully we'll have a nice. Hopefully you guys will notice a big difference in my microphone sounding.
I too am getting a new microphone. But
Oh,
not
that's
nearly
right.
as
You
good-
are. Hey, you are getting a new microphone.
Not nearly as good as the Apogee Hype mic, but still a new microphone.
Yep.
I'm
And
not
hey,
getting a new microphone.
funny enough, Tom, you are also getting a microphone recommended by Review Tech USA. That $70 mic with
That
the
is
boom
true.
with the boom arm with the shock mount.
It's funny though, because me and Jeremy right now are actually using the same exact mic. I know that.
Yeah, and it sounds good. It does sound good.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thanks so
Wait,
much
wait,
for what?
The Intellivision will win the console war. That's fresh and sweet.
The Intellivision.
And I
Well,
agree.
we'll see. If you guys didn't check it out already, check out our Tommy Tallarico interview. He talks all about the Amico, and yeah, we talked about that a lot. And also, guys, stay tuned. We got an episode with Dreamcast Guy coming out on Monday. That'll be coming out on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all those places. So check that out.
Anchor.
It was Anchor. Yep. So it's going to be a really good episode. He talks a lot about his YouTube career, next-gen gaming, all that stuff. So can't wait for you guys to hear that. We've been sitting on that for a couple weeks now. So stay tuned for that. But this was the first episode of the GenerationZen live stream show with Tom, Jeremy, Sean, and Tom, your friend didn't come. I'm very disappointed.
She posted in the chat a couple times.
She did. Yes, she did. But hopefully next time she'll come around because I know she would have quite a bit to say about PlayStation 5. Maybe, I don't know.
I don't think she would.
Probably not, but probably not. But
I don't think she would have had as much to say as we all did, but
that's
I will
okay.
ask
Well,
her thoughts.
yep. And then we're planning on bringing more guests on the show as well. Besides this crew, we'll have this crew and we'll have a couple other guests too. Just like I said, they're more laid back versions of the podcast. They're more, a lot of chat interaction, a lot of, finding one talking point here, moving on, and all that
I
stuff.
thought
So
you said fighting for a second.
Yeah,
I'm like,
No,
I'm
no.
gonna fight Sheen all
no
the time.
fighting, finding. So, all right, everybody. Well, I think it's a good note to end on. Unless no one has any final thoughts, thank you all for
I
tuning
knew I
in
was-
to the first episode.
I
What,
just
Tom?
want to. I just want to delay Sheen from doing whatever he wants to do.
Oh, I
Yeah,
just
actually,
Sean, all right,
do you have any
all right.
more thoughts you want to talk about?
All right, Sean, we'll let you do the intro. Sean, we'll let you do the intro. What is it?
Wait,
do
wait,
the
hold
do,
on, wait, hold on.
do the
There's a
outro,
couple
Sean.
more things me and Tom want to.
all right, Sean, do the outro. Go ahead.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. We hope you join us for the next one. It's going to be a great new episode. But until then, stay zen.